Yo, what's up guys, it's King Sean here, and in today's video, I will be breaking down the Commanders' current running back room. I did this breakdown for the receivers yesterday, so if you have not checked out that video, make sure y'all go check it out. But today, we will be breaking down the running backs in the Commanders' running back room right now. We'll talk about each guy, and I'll talk about which guys I think are locks and which guys I believe will get cut or have a chance to get cut. And I'll talk about how many guys I think the Commanders will keep at the running back position come 53-man roster cutdown day. So, if you guys are new to my channel, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so right now the Commanders have a total of 8 running backs on the roster. Running back Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Ekeler, Jeremy McNichols, Jacory Krosky-Merritt, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Demetric Felton, Michael Wiley, and Kazmir Allen. Remember, they transitioned Kazmir Allen from receiver to running back last offseason. Pretty sure they did that transition during training camp, and they actually like Kazmir Allen a lot, enough that they brought him back to be on the practice squad, which I found really interesting. And he is now a running back. He switched from number 10 to 24, I'm pretty sure. So he's really a running back for real. He put on more pounds, more muscle, basically just made the full transition to running back. So he is now a running back, which has us at 8 running backs on the 90-man roster right now. For the guys that I think are locks right now, first of all, I don't know how many running backs they're going to keep. I feel like right now I'm leaning towards 4 because they really like Jeremy McNichols. Like, they really, really like Jeremy McNichols. And McNichols was a big help for us last year, right? He was amazing on special teams and put up really solid stats when he came in the game. He was, they trusted him when he came in the game. He had over 200 rushing yards for 4 touchdowns. He had another rushing touchdown in the playoffs versus the Lions in that big win over the Lions, right? He had a fumble in the NFC Championship game, which, don't forgive him for that, but he was really good for us last year, and they definitely do see that. So they like McNichols a lot, and I was one of the people who weren't very high on McNichols during training camp and preseason last year. I thought that we should have kept Michael Wiley over him on the 53-man roster, but they were right by keeping McNichols over Wiley because he was really good last year for us during the regular season. Again, over 200 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns. So they like Jimmy McNichols a lot, which is why I could see them keeping 4 running backs. Now, if they only keep 3 running backs, the 3 guys I see them keeping are Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Ekeler, and Jacory Krosky-Merritt. Jacory is definitely going to make this roster. I don't see them cutting any of our draft picks from this year because, we only had 5 draft picks, so you really don't want to cut any of them, including Cam Medrano. I think Cam Medrano is definitely going to make this roster as well, right? But I'll talk about that, when I do the linebacker breakdown, which I'll probably do next week. But, yeah, Jacory Krosky-Merritt, he's definitely going to make the roster along with B-Rob and Ekeler. I know some fans have said that B-Rob may be a surprise cut. I just don't see that happening. Look, I know a lot of fans, I would say most fans, are not too high on B-Rob. Very upset with him after the way he ended the season last year, specifically. Remember the Eagles game where he had the 2 fumbles, the Falcons game where, he wasn't doing a whole lot early on. He actually finished the game with 13 carries for 60 yards, which is pretty good, but, if you actually watch the game, like early on, he was not playing great. The Bucks game, wildcard round, he wasn't great. So many instances last year down the road where B-Rob just wasn't playing great football, wasn't seeing it well, wasn't bursting through the right gaps and things of that nature. So, that's why a lot of fans were upset with Brian Robinson Jr. last year, and I don't blame them. However, I still got hope in B-Rob, and the team still has hope in B-Rob, and he will be our starting running back day 1, week 1, and Jacory Krosky-Merritt, he can impress so much during training camp and in the preseason that they feel like giving him a lot of opportunities or a good amount of opportunities early on starting week 1. But even if he impresses a whole lot, Brian Robinson Jr. is still your week 1 starting running back, whether you like it or not. So You know, if you don't like it, well then it is what it is, right? And then obviously Austin Eckler will be our receiving back. He is still a really good receiving back, good third down back to have, really good in pass pro. He will definitely make this roster for sure. But hopefully Jacory Krosky-Merritt, if he gets a good amount of opportunities this season, can prove to be our starting running back of the future, because Eckler and B-Rob, they are both gone after this year. So we will need to find a running back next year if Jacory Krosky-Merritt does not pan out. But if he does, then we won't have to find a starting running back for next year, and maybe we can just find a complement for Jacory Krosky-Merritt. And then again, with Jeremy McNichols, if they decide to keep 4 running backs, I think he will be the guy that they keep out of Chris Rodriguez, Demetric Felton, and Michael Wiley, right? Michael Wiley, I think he has a very good shot of being back on the practice squad. Same with Chris Rodriguez. I think Chris Rodriguez is definitely going to go back on the practice squad if he gets cut. I don't think any teams will look at him. Maybe some teams will look at him, but I don't know if they'll actually pick him up. But when Chris Rodriguez was in the game last year, he was actually pretty good. Remember the Giants game where Eckler was out and Rodriguez needed, or not Eckler, sorry, when Brian Robinson was out, because Eckler did play that game. But when B-Rob was out, Chris Rodriguez, he had to come in, play a little bit late in the game, and he helped us close that game out. In the Titans game where we were just demolishing the Titans, we decided to put Chris Rodriguez in to get some carries, and he ended up exploding for 94 rushing yards and a touchdown, which is really, really good. And versus the Falcons, week 17, the game we clinched a playoff berth, he scored a touchdown on a very nice, hard run. So he definitely contributed to this team, definitely stepped up when we needed him to last year. However, with us adding Jacory Krosky-Merritt and with the team loving what Jeremy McNichols provides, I just don't know if Chris Rodriguez will make the roster. But if he gets cut, I definitely think he will be back on the practice squad for sure. It's going to be really interesting to watch and pay attention to this running back room to see how everybody performs during training camp and in the preseason. Really excited to watch Jacory Krosky-Merritt, man, because as I talked about him last week in my video breaking down him, he is not a 7th round pick talent. He is more of a 3rd round pick running back talent, right? Like, he is really, really good, man. Like, when I was watching his film, I was so surprised to see how good he was. So I expect him to dominate in the preseason, look really, really good, and look really, really good in training camp as well. And if he impresses enough in training camp and in the preseason to earn himself some opportunities early on, he could really take advantage of those opportunities and never look back. So super excited to watch Jacory Krosky-Merritt. Also intrigued to watch, Jeremy McNichols, Chris Rodriguez, Michael Wiley, because those 3 guys, if we keep a 4th running back, those 3 guys may be fighting for that last running back spot, right? So we shall see. Ultimately, however, I do think Jeremy McNichols will take that last running back spot if we do keep 4 running backs. So I am super excited to see how the running backs perform in training camp and in the preseason, who shows up, who impresses, and who ultimately makes the roster and who gets cut. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. Comment down below how many running backs do you think the Commanders will keep and who you think they will keep on the 53-man roster. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.